Is somebody in the presence of God tonight? I want you to understand me. I want you to hear something. I want you to listen to me carefully. When you read Romans chapter 12 verse 1, don't sit down, just be with me. Romans chapter 12 verse 1, it says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to Him, for this is your reasonable service. The Apostle Paul was saying, I beseech you. When you go to the Greek rendition, he was trying to say that I'm inviting you. I invoke this thing we call holiness unto you. I am commanding you to come to where I am. And it says, I'm begging you by the mercies of God, not in my name, not in the name of the vice chancellor of this university, not in the name of the Pope, not in the name of your bishop, not in the name of your spiritual father, but I'm begging you by the mercies of the Most High God, that all the things you are doing, they are good. The dancing, the singing, the clapping, the jumping, the music, the offering and everything, it is good. But this time round, take it to a higher level. Present your body. And you see, when he talked about present also from the Greek, he is only trying to say that exhibit. So if you claim you are a child of God, exhibit it. When he says present also from the Greek, he is saying that substantiate. In other words, there are other people who are singing, there are other people who are coming to church, there are other people who are giving offering, there are other people who are somersaulting and jumping, there are other people who are doing all these things we call church. Substantiate. Let yours be different and unique from theirs. So it says, I beseech you by the mercies of God, let there be a distinction. And when it says present, in other words, he's also saying that recommend. So if you claim you are a Christian, let your body recommend Christ to somebody else to also come and serve God. So when we come and we are worshiping, God help me, it's not about the singing you are singing. It's not about how good your voice is. It's not about how skillful you are. It's not about how beautiful you have been decorated to stand at the entrance as an usher to be receiving people with smiles. It's not about that one. But this thing has got to do with how you exhibit it with your body. So it says, when you present it, let it be holy. That is number one. And when it says holy, the Greek will tell you hagios, and the Hebrew will say kadosh. And when it says kadosh, kadosh means something that is pure, something that is unadulterated, something that is not contaminated, something that is not polluted. So I beseech you, I beg you, I'm pleading with you, present your body, exhibit your body, recommend Christ to somebody, recommend the true worship unto God, the worship that is not polluted, the worship that is not contaminated. Let it not just be a lip service. When it says kadosh, kadosh means the thing that has no blame, the thing that is blameless, the thing that you can't have anything to point finger at. So sister, don't stand on the stage and be singing and somebody can point finger at something. Don't stand on the stage singing and somebody can say, this brother, I know him, I know the kind of girlfriends he has been hanging around with. It's not about that one. Let it be holy. And it says, when it is holy, let it be acceptable. And the acceptable also, it means something that is agreeable. Something that when the two of us meet, we will know that this one, it's not something that we come and you present it, and by the time you turn your back and you are going, I look at it and the thing is a blind goat. Is somebody understanding me? It's not a sheep that you present for sacrifice, and when you turn and you are going and I look at the sheep and I examine it well, the sheep has one defection somewhere in the body. He says, let that one be acceptable. So when you are bringing a sacrifice unto God, let it be acceptable. And it says, when you do this one, it is only this one that is your reasonable. I like what the Amplified Version says. It said, this one is your intelligent and rational worship unto God. And when he finished, he defined it and said, a divine worship. So it's not about how intelligent you are. It's not about how skillful you are. Let me tell you one thing. Worship is not about the music. Worship is not about the place. Is somebody understanding me? You can sit in a garage and read a Bible. It doesn't make you a car, even though the garage was made for a car. But when a human being, you sit in a garage and read a Bible, it doesn't make you a car. You are still a human being reading a Bible. So when you sit in a garage and you call upon his name, that was what Jesus told the Samaritan woman and said, there will be a time, and now is the time, when the true worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. And Jesus told him that, you see, you people, you are talking about going to the mountains to worship. And Jews are also talking about going to Jerusalem. But the worship is not about the place. The worship is about you, the human being, and what you offer unto him. Worship is not about the place. Worship is about the vessel from which the worship emanates. That is why he's saying that present your bodies. So don't let it look like, oh, Christianity. God looks into the heart, but man looks at the outward. But I want to present something to you. The Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So what is in your heart is what has come out. So sometimes we see you in church, Christian sister, and we don't know whether we have met a traffic light or we have met a human being. Someone understand? Because you have painted some part of your face red, some part yellow, and some part green. So we don't know whether it's a human being we have met or it's a traffic light. Is somebody here? Don't dress like the cousin of Angel Gabriel and come to church. And when it's time for you to go for lectures, you dress like the sister-in-law of the devil. There is nothing about trying to be attractive when you come to church. Say, when you are going to church nowadays, you must look attractive. You must look a little sexy and go and seduce who? We are talking about holiness. And I'm saying that the holiness we are talking about and the worship we are talking about is not about the place. It's not about the skill. It's not about the expensive instruments we have bought. It's about the vessel from which the worship is emanating from. That is why I don't want to mention anybody's name. But a very expensive instrument in the hand of another singer somewhere is only noise and useless. But an instrument which is not expensive and has problems in the hands of a very anointed worshipper goes to God. And you feel the power and the presence of God. I beseech you by the mercies of God. Why was the Apostle Paul saying, I beg you? Why was he saying, I beseech you? The Apostle Paul was begging because, number one, there is the presence of evil is too much. So you see music director squeezing the breast of singers in the choir like he is testing microphone. And the singers in the choir too are fine. And on Sunday, they will stand on the stage and minister before the man of God will come and pick microphone and preach. The present evil. So Apostle Paul said, I beg you. I beg you. You see brothers nowadays in the name of Christian brother, Christian sister, they drag minerals and drag fruit juice for sisters to drink. They become intoxicated and they sleep with them. So Apostle Paul said, I beg you, by the mercies of God. The evil is too much. The evil is too much. Finance committee member in the Christian fellowship, you are not afraid. You are stealing money, students' money. In the name of, I'm an executive, I must make calls. I must run errands. In the name of, you must make calls. The evil is too much. I beg of you. We are talking about holiness. This thing we are calling holiness is possible. But you need some hard work. You need some discipline. Hear me very well. The day you got born again, when they put quinine in your mouth, it will still taste quinine. And when they put honey in your mouth, it will still taste honey. What I'm trying to say is that when you get born again, when a naked sister comes to stand in front of you, that feeling you used to have when you were not born again, you will still have it. But it will take some discipline and some decision to put your body under so that you don't do it. The Apostle Paul said, I beg you. Number 2, because of the urgency of the hour. Yes, I beg too much. Because if other people were talking about it and they died and they are gone, and today we are still waiting, it is closer than it used to be that time. So I beg you, present your bodies. Present your bodies and let it be holy. My mom about instruments, and the executives and come to say they have not refreshed you. Am I talking to somebody tonight? Don't come and let it look like you are God. You will see a brother coming to church, and that usher standing at the entrance, the kind of smile she will give to the brother. Another brother too will be coming and she will say, you will see some instrumentalists playing very well because the lady who is leading the song, she is the girlfriend of one of the instrumentalists. But you see them playing roughly because the one standing in front is not their favorite. I'm a musician, I'm an instrumentalist. I know what I'm talking about. Hallelujah. And the last one I want to talk about, the Apostle Paul said, I beg you, not because of anything, but because of the mercy of God. That is why he's begging, because of the mercy. There is one analogy I've been making all the time. Somebody is holding microphone, mobile phone. You call him or her and say, "Oh, me wo kumase. Akaka krani enka etu. Nti ma me be 2 hours." Meanwhile, ojina penkwase. Because it's a mobile phone. Kumasi and Penkwase, even though they all end say, but it's not the same place. So one day, as you keep lying, as soon as you finish lying, and then the trumpet will sound, what will happen? Then you look at all the years you have been fasting and praying. Sometimes the offering you give, you know you don't have, but you have to give. You look at all these things, and that lie, Penkwase and Kumasi, takes you to hell. So Apostle Paul says, I beg you, by the mercies of God, by the mercies of God. And I want to end with you with Psalm 1. Psalm 1. Blessed is the man. There are some 3 categories there. When it says the man who does not walk, nor stand, nor sit, that is the first category. The one who does not take the counsel. Is somebody understanding me? The one who does not sit in the seat. The one who does not associate with the sinners. The one who does not associate with the scornful. Who does not take that counsel, that wicked counsel of the others. But his delight is in the law. And he meditates on it day and night. He says, whatsoever you will do, you will prosper. If you will live a holy life, if you will come out from amongst them and let darkness have nothing to do with light, and you will separate yourself and touch no unclean thing, I have come to tell you one thing: the Lord will bless you. There will be people on this campus who will call you all sort of names. Because of time, I would have told you a lot of things, but let me tell you something brief. We will worship again, and tonight I'm believing God to touch someone's life. When I entered Sunyane and I joined Fountain Gate Chapel, to cut a long story short, my pastors even didn't know my name. My head pastor used to call me Bema at Saint, and he will pass. But I was the first to be in church and the last to leave. How many of us know Abisim? You know SIPCO, Standard Institute of Business something. I used to stay behind SIPCO. And that time I used to walk from SIPCO to Sunyane. Not that I didn't have money, but if I use the money for transportation, I won't get money for offering during church service. So I must walk so that I can give offering. And when we close, I must walk, else I will not eat at home. There was one time I was so hungry to the point of death. Hey, come on, to the point he said, was a problem. I was so weak, I was dying. My sight was very blurred. And I was like, 2 weeks I've not been in the church. I fix instruments, I play, I do all these things. And I was dying. And that time nobody had ever bothered to ask me where I stayed. And let me cut it short. The day I was able to, somebody rescued me. As for Prophet Fuswini, you know Brata. Brata never rescued me. He was looking for an organist to come and play organ for them at Presby Church because there was a wedding. And he knew my house. When he came, I was lying flat, dying. So if it had not been that brother, I got strength, I got back to church. The first person I met, if it were you, I looked at this sister and I was like, do I carry her and throw her out of the room? Or I should bust her lips a little? Instead of asking me where I'm coming from. I can't talk about the rest. But I told myself, I will still fix these instruments. When I close and I leave here, I won't come to this place again. I'm a human being. I'm telling you what happened to me. And in the midst of my fixing of instruments, I was weeping because now I didn't hear me yet. And whilst I was weeping, I heard a still small voice saying, is it these people who called you or I called you? Are you working for me or you are working for them? He said, they have not appreciated you, but I have seen it and I have rewarded you already. I'm waiting for the appointed time. And the Lord gave me one condition. Hear me. That is what I want to use to end. And said, if only you will stay right before me. If only you will stay right before me. And you don't shift from my status. Whatever anybody, anywhere, any musician, anywhere in the world has achieved, I, the Lord, I will cause you to achieve it in this land. And when we are about to close, I will show us the prayer I prayed. And we will all pray that prayer. I say to the glory of God, Ehefa, I have stood on the stage, Hillsong. You know Hillsong? Darlene Zech and all those people. I've been to Australia. I've I've been to UK, Ashimolo stage. I don't know the other stage you want to think about. I'm still in Sunyani from Brong Ahafo. I'm not a Bono man, but I always associate myself with Bonos and I call myself a Bono. I'm still in Brong Ahafo. There is somebody with big English and big jargons in Accra who doesn't know Kotoka International Airport. But the Lord has taken me from Sunyani to cross Kotoka to other places. This thing we are calling holiness, if you will stay right and pure before God. Order for a bit near the 30 years. Nyarko. A bit near the 25 years. People would disrespect you. People will look down on you. People will humiliate you. People will insult you. Like I said, somebody said, so it's like, am I a useless person? And that time I was a building engineer working with feeder roads as deputy regional quantity surveyor. I didn't come to the church with my certificate. Let's stay pure before God. Just be right with God. And whatsoever God has said, if he told Abraham, walk before me and be thou perfect, and the promise he gave to him, because Abraham also walked before him and became perfect, that promise came to pass. And if he is God, according to Malachi, who does not change, he will not change what he has said concerning your life. Lift up your hands to the heavens. Tonight, before we will worship, there is somebody here. There is somebody here. You must take a bold decision. You must give your life to Christ. I was the choir master of Methodist Church so many years. All the classical pieces you can talk about. I was one of the guys who could play Handel's Messiah from memory, from page 1 to the last page, without looking into the book. I was playing all these things, and I was not born again. I was not born again. I didn't know Christ. I come to play organ, and when we close church, minister session clerk, if you don't give me my transportation, everybody in the church will hear of us. Not knowing I was a fool. Until the day Jesus Christ revealed himself to me and said that this thing you are doing, I gave you the gift. And your reward is not from men. Your reward is from me. When I understood it, that was how God started changing my life. Tonight you don't know Christ. Don't feel shy like I'm telling you mine. I was an organist. I was assistant music director. But I didn't know Jesus. You can be leading praise and worship. But let me put it in a simple way. As we stand here right now, God forbid, but if this building should collapse on all of us, and all of us should die, Ebenezer Nyarko Ansah, I know where I'm going. I'm very confident and sure. If you cannot say what I'm saying with that boldness and that confidence, I want you to come to me right now. Tonight is your night. I came because of you. It's your night. I came because of you. It's your night. I came because of you. It's your night.